Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Egld. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch it before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And without further ado, let's get straight into the charts. Now, taking a look at Egld on the daily chart, the chart is from Binance on TradingView. As you can see, we have two Fibonacci retracements. Now, we're going to focus on the larger one. So we have our swing high printed all the way back in December of 2021 at $546, with the swing low printed in June of 2021 at $54.50. And we have been retracing down ever since that all-time high. And potentially right now we are on our way to the 1.618 target, which is the technical target for any chart really. After you start losing your swing low here on the Fibonacci retracement at $53.70, you tend to retrace all the way back down to the 1.618. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen 100%. I'm just saying that statistically, that's what happens. So that is our technical target currently at $12.80. However, we obviously can be held up by any of the upper levels here. So the 1.414 Fibonacci at $20.54, the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level at $28.56. Now notice how these Fibonacci retracement levels align perfectly with previous local lows. So for example, the 1.414 here, I highlighted it with a yellow trend line. As you can see, that perfectly falls under the low we printed in December of 2020, right before the bull market really got overextended, you could say. So we had this move into December, and then we had a little retracement back down. If I just zoom in a little bit more, you can see that we bounced off of this level here at $20.50, and from there we've been in this roller coaster of a ride. Now the 1.272 level, if we drop in a retracement, a trend line on that retracement, you can see that that actually perfectly aligns with the high that we printed in December, right? This high, before we went back down here, printing this low. And from there, we exploded, ran into the next resistance level, came back down, retested the previous resistance as support, and then continued on in this impulsive move. So this was a very good setup here, and this is going to be acting as a major support level for us. So I think that these two trend lines are going to be important ones for us to keep an eye on, as well as the two upper yellow trend lines. Now, if you can see that we do have a couple of more Fibonacci retracements here. Actually, we have two in total. So I'm going to remove the larger one in the background, and we're going to focus on the smaller one. So the smaller one is obviously with a shorter time frame fractal, right? We have this time period from June until August with that impulsive move, and then we have our retracement down. And right now we have lost the first fib, or the first fib level on the retracement, which was at $38, and we're heading all the way back down to the 1.272 at $32. So for now, $32 is going to be our support level where we want to chill out a bit and cool down, hopefully start a sideways channel from where we can continue to the upside. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. Obviously, if Bitcoin starts dropping like crazy, Elrond can obviously drop all the way down to our 1.618 target for this specific fib. So the larger fib has a much lower 1.618 target. However, with this specific high and this specific low, the $26 price tag is our technical target for now. The 1.414 sits at $29.50. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And right now, in all honesty, Elrond looks like a very strong buy. We're getting very overextended from the 20 EMA on the daily chart, and we're printing some sort of a channel down pattern here. Let me just bring out that. As you can see, we have some sort of a channel down pattern here, and usually these patterns are broken to the upside. So potentially, I'm going to be expecting a move all the way up into the 20 EMA, which is the yellow line here on the daily chart, and these EMAs are usually good levels for us to look at in terms of support and resistance. Of course, once we're below them, they are acting as resistance. That's why in a downtrend, you typically run into these EMAs as resistance, and they send you back down for a lower low. So potentially before we move down to our 1.618 target, we could retest the 20 EMA, and this could provide us with a nice swing trade opportunity, or anyone entering right now at the 1.272 could take profits and just leave the project altogether. If you're simply entering for a quick little trade, that's also fine. And for now, from where we are, this could potentially be a nice 13% trade. So not too bad in a bear market, I would say. But in general, when you see these overextensions to the downside, once you're very far away from the 20 EMA, once the gap in between the 20 and the 55 EMA is quite large, as you can see, that's the red line there is the 55, and the yellow line here is the 20. And once there is a pretty huge gap in between, usually we see retracement just to fill that gap, and then we continue down with the trend, just like we did over here. So if you take a look at this here, as you can see, we had this capitulation in November. We created a channel down pattern similar to this one here, and then we had a break to the upside. We barely broke above the 20 EMA for a couple of days, and then we broke down. So potentially we could be looking at a similar scenario here, where we may be even breaking above the 20 EMA. Potentially we could even retest $40.46, which is the swing low that we printed here in November. So essentially, we lost the support level in December, and we could be looking at a back test of resistance here in January. So that is a potential play from where we are right now. That would be a 23.3% trade, which is, in all honesty, a bit juicier than 13% that we just looked at. But still, these are all good trades you can take a look at, and potentially they could play out. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying that historically, as you can see, we have these channels playing out, and they usually play out pretty accurately. And it depends on Bitcoin. Obviously, everything depends on Bitcoin. I'm not here saying that all these altcoins are going to be moving on their own and doing whatever. No, I'm saying that if Bitcoin, for example, is going to be moving sideways for a while, just like it has been doing right now, altcoins can just go up and down depending on some news, or maybe simple patterns playing out and liquidity squeezes and liquidity grabs and whatnot. So, just pay attention to the charts. I'm really, right now, I'm trying to buy in, but obviously going all in at these prices is still not a very smart thing to do, because in all honesty, I do think we're going to be going just a little bit lower, because usually we see that strong capitulation before we start moving into the bull market. And on top of that, we still need to see the Fed stop cutting or stop increasing the interest rates, right? And when we see them start cutting interest rates, that's going to be when the bull market is probably going to be heating up. But for now, as you can see, Elrond is back here in the oversold, and this is the support block that we have been retesting since January of this year. And every time we have retested that, we saw a very strong move to the upside. And potentially you could be looking at a resistance trend line retest here, which is the white trend line. You could also draw another trend line here, such as this. And with a little fake out above, as you can see, this trend line held us down twice. So potentially you could look at that as well. But for now, on the dailies RSI, we are very much in the oversold. So this is a strong buy from me. And let me just bring back the large Fibonacci retracement just so we can have it on the chart. And before we continue, I quickly want to ask you, do you value your privacy? If the answer is yes, then you must take a look at ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN offers you the privacy that you deserve, no activity logs and no connection logs. Your internet provider won't be able to access anything, and anyone using the same open free Wi-Fi in the cafe as you won't be able to do any harm or breach your security. You can use the ExpressVPN application on any device. You can connect it to your PlayStation, or you can even connect it to your router so that anyone who connects is automatically secured. Or if you're looking to access any region-blocked content on your streaming platform, well, ExpressVPN can do that as well. If you're living in the Netherlands and you want to access a TV show that's only available in Japan, well, my friend, you can do that with ExpressVPN. You can use the link down below in the description and get a discounted price along with 3 extra months for free. You can get your money back if you don't like it, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't like it, because we all need the privacy, and in today's age especially. And you can also pay with Bitcoin, so that's a really cool feature as well. And let's get on with the video. And I also want to switch over to the weekly chart on the Binance website. Here I have multiple support blocks, and right now we're losing our red support block, and we're on our way into the blue support block, which is anywhere between $30 and $20.50. And that is basically the trading range that we created here in December, January 2020 to 2021. And I think that is potentially going to be our bottom unless Bitcoin decides to drop to $12,000. I think we could be moving, or I should correct myself, if Bitcoin decides to drop to $12,000, maybe $11,000, I think us going below $30 is inevitable for Elrond, because if Bitcoin does that, altcoins are going to get destroyed, and that's when we should sweep in and try to get all those lows, right? Because these capitulations, these black swan events, these are the best times to be dollar cost averaging. So even if you were buying throughout this dip here that we had through May, right, you dollar cost averaged a bit into Elrond, that's fine. Right now we're on a downward spiral once again, and you can be dollar cost averaging here so that your average price is, let's say, going to be around $60 to $70. And once we enter the bull market and hopefully Elrond goes to $600, $700, $800, depending on what the Fibonacci retracement levels are going to show us. We're going to be targeting that here on this channel at least. It really doesn't matter if your average buying price is $54 or $57, right? You're still going to be selling at a very high price if you're patient enough. That's what I try to teach here on the channel, regardless of whatever anyone is saying. Taking a look at the weekly RSI, we are below the support trend line that I had set up for you in the last update, I believe. And right now our next support that we're targeting is all the way down here at 30.15 on the RSI. And hopefully we don't lose that. If we do, obviously we're going to be entering the oversold. And on the weekly chart, we've never been in the oversold actually on Elrond, from the Binance chart at least. So this is going to be an amazing buying opportunity for anyone looking to dollar cost average into Elrond or potentially enter the project for the first time. So if I missed out anything important on the chart, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to check out my Patreon, where I do leave sometimes my thoughts on the markets. I upload exclusive podcasts for the patrons. I share my low cap gems that I'm researching and dollar cost averaging into. I share my trade alerts, my portfolio, and a whole bunch of stuff in there. So it's a great community for us to talk to each other and share our thoughts. And you can request a lot of content as well. So yeah, check it out. Link in the description. Thank you and goodbye.